I'll show you how to fix a broken cord or an intermittent cord. When you've got something with a cord that is very intermittent, this is a very common fix. This game controller has a very intermittent broken wire right in here, and as I move it around, you can see the screen just goes nuts. We're going to fix this device without replacing the entire cord because we want to keep it original. We'll unplug it from the TV. We'll take all the screws out so we can get to the cord. Now that we've got access to the cord, we'll pull this out, and we know somewhere in here there's a break, an intermittent break. We want to keep this plug, so we're going to cut out the bad section and keep this plug. On the back side, we'll cut right down the middle, right through the center. We'll pull out the wire. When we put this back, we'll be able to roll it over. It'll look really nice on this side, but there'll be a cut on the bottom. Right in here, this is the bad section. To see these wires, I'll go ahead and shave it off a bit. I'm sure pulling it apart, I frayed it even worse. We'll cut the wire back where we know it's good and not frayed. We'll connect this back up to where it needs to go up here. On this, there's a red wire, a white wire, and the bare wire turns into the black wire up here. When you pull all this apart, this copper that's wrapped around here, we want to be careful not to break that. We'll separate the structural string from the copper. Easier said than done. We'll twist all the copper together. We've got everything separated. We'll cut off the black insulation. We'll cut off the nylon structural fibers. Now we've got the white wire, and the copper wire will be the black. The same thing to this red wire. Just be real careful not to damage the copper wires. I'll pull the copper wires down and let the nylon structural string stick up. We have all the copper wires down and the nylon wires up here where we'll be able to cut them off. We'll straighten up all those copper wires. We'll spin all these into a single wire. We'll combine these two copper wires into one copper wire. Now we've got our white wire. The copper wire will be our black one, and we've got our red wire. We'll trim off the shrink wrap to the black, red, and white. Here you can see the red to red is soldered, and then the black, you can see that copper to black. When we pull off the shrink wrap, you can see white to white. We'll be able to solder our red to red, copper to black, and white to white. Solder all these wires. Remove the broken piece of wire. Tin the wires with solder. This will make it a lot easier to solder it to the other wires. We'll add shrink tube to this side of the wire. Slide the shrink tube on. We've got the shrink tube on there. Once it's soldered, we'll put it back over and shrink it. We'll solder everything together. We'll make sure the connection's really good. We'll slide the shrink tube over the connection. Now that the wires will not short, we'll shrink them. Put a little fire on there. It doesn't take much, and they're shrunk on there really good. Immediately when I turn it on, the sound works, the video works, and there's no break in the wire. It's kind of fun when you can fix something broken. We'll place this connector back on the cord. Press everything together. Place the cord back in. The plastic will push everything together. Put the decorative panels back on. Now the audio video cable's ready to go.